Hi! Okay, welcome guys! Oh my god, finally a dedicated video to Willow, the series. Unbelievable! Oh no! Liz, oh my god, the series is hot garbage. Absolutely horrible. Oh my god, I'm so sad it's taken me so long to talk about it. But I'm finally here, so here I am. This is probably going to be, well, get ready for tangents. Okay, there's a lot to go over. I'm on episode 7 right now. This is the last episode that's been shown. Hopefully this comes out before episode 8. I'm not entirely sure when I'll be uploading this video, but I think I'll be doing it pretty soon. I have other videos planned as well, but whatever. Oh my god. But listen, guys, have you been watching the series? People think Blood Origin, Witcher the Blood Origin, is fucking awful, but Willow is just as bad, if not worse. At least Blood Origin had the dignity, had the dignity to end at 4 episodes. This is still going. It's not over. There's at least 3 more episodes after this. Oh no! Why? Pain. Oh my god, I hate this. I can't go over. Mostly I'm gonna go over episode 7. I'm gonna give sort of generalities through the first 6 episodes as much as I can. I don't want this to be like a 3-hour video, right? That would be annoying, right? No one wants to really watch like a 3-hour video. Maybe like an overview of everything, but I just really want to go over episode 7. But I'm gonna speak in generalities for the first 6. Watching the series, I should give my impressions actually. First of all, I did watch the movie, so I've been watching the series since it came out. I watched the movie because I didn't see it before the Willow movie. Maybe a week before the series aired, and sorry, Willow fans, I'm not particularly impressed with the movie. As a fantasy series, it's okay. But as a movie in general, it's not poorly. Well, it's not good. It's very poorly made. The editing, the sound design, the characters, just the plot in general, the world building. None of anything in my movie really stands out as like a fantasy series that's like really immerses you into the story. Nothing. I could never compare it to something like Lord of the Rings, or Lord of the Rings is probably the apex of like fantasy series that are like really good. Something else maybe. I don't have anything off the top of my head. I'm sorry. Lord of the Rings is the best example I can come up with, unfortunately. But I'm sorry. Like, to you like Willow movie fans, but like if we're real here, the Willow movie just like isn't that good. So I'm like very surprised that they would even really make a series based on upon that like plot. Where if we're speaking, yeah, that plot like totally like didn't finish really because of Laura Dana, and didn't grow up, and now she's grown up in this series. There's a lot of things that they can extrapolate on, honestly. But it wasn't like it didn't seem like a beloved classic. So it's just another series that they're really trying to like gain nostalgia from, trying to gain as much, trying to milk the cow as much as they can, which is where we have now in this series. So the first 4 episodes of this show were absolutely horrible. How could you make a show that is so unbelievably bad? Un- un- let's take a look here, right? I've never seen a show that has characters so out of place from like the plot and the story and the world building of a fantasy setting, right? Every character is so, again, out of place. They don't sound like they're in this world, right? They don't sound like they belong inside this, contained universe of characters and people and monsters and whatever, what else is in this universe, right? They all sound like Kit, the actor that portrays Kit, the character. It is the other lesbian, the short-haired lesbian, the daughter of Mad Mardigan, I believe is his name. She is probably the worst in this front, where she just like, and every scene does not try at all. She sounds like every other Californian girl ever possible, modern. Every modern California girl ever talking in that way, and every action, every scene she has, it doesn't matter. And this is something that she shares with most characters in the show. It's unbelievable how no one is trying. No one is actually acting. no, nobody. Everybody in the show, even Warwick Davis, he's not giving a stellar performance. Now I had to like really think about like, is Warwick Davis like a good actor? don't I don't believe he is after watching this show. He just sounds and acts horrible. Just not good. Something's off, right? Something's off about the show. And that's one like point about like most of the episodes. Every character is at a place they don't belong here. They don't belong in the universe they're supposed to be portraying, and just so especially aggravating when in every scene there's just horrible dialogue between characters I just don't give a shit about. Not to mention that it's been 7 episodes. Now, I should remember every character by now. I should know their names. I should know their backstories. I should know. Well, I don't need to know their backstories necessarily. I should be like. I should be immersed inside the world. I should be liking these characters. Everyone is horribly unlikable. I don't like any of them. I remember maybe 3 of the characters' names. I remember Kit, because she's incredibly insufferable and I hate her. I remember Allure Danum, because she's the chosen one, and I wouldn't call Allure Danum a Mary Sue. She's definitely not. Which is maybe, I guess so, a plus inside this show. Which is like, I guess nowadays I would expect her to be Mary Sue, but she's not. She gets like thrown around a bit, and she has troubles of her own, which is a good thing. But I still, it's not, good generally speaking. And I remember Willow. We have 6 characters that we really follow, and Eric here is on screen. I believe is his name. Eric, yes, he's the son of Mard whatever his name is. Um, the brother of Kit. Um, those are 3 characters I remember. I don't remember the other ones. We have Flash Thompson, wherever he is. Let me see if I can find. There he is. Oh, I saw him, Flash Thompson. Oh boy, the most non-threatening man I've ever seen, Flash Thompson. If I can even get. There he is in the background. That's Kit, black hair, Allure Danum. Throughout these episodes, it took 7 episodes for her hair to go from blonde to red now. And this guy, big Arab guy, I don't remember his name either. And then Carly, I don't remember her name as well. A lot of this show's missing like extreme amounts of characterization and likable characters between episodes. I just don't give a shit about because it's not done well. And they haven't like made me like these people. It's not even like the story has progressed even in 7 episodes. The plot is still exactly where it was from the first episode. We're still trying to find Kit's brother, Eric. We're still trying to find him. And this is the first episode where we've really like taken a long time. And by a long time I mean like 10 minutes within this episode. And this is like an hour-long episode. Each episode's around an hour long. This is like the first time we finally get to like see some introspection of like what's happening to him. We saw a bit in like episode 6 or episode 5, either one of those. I believe it was 6, where we just saw him do slightly something, but it was like a minute of any. There hasn't been a lot about it, even though the entire plot is trying to find him. That's what the story is about. Literally finding him and taking him back. It's crazy how much the story has like been muddled and bogged down into nothingness, trying to even find its place into doing anything. It's almost all filler. It's crazy what the series is. I thought, and we're not going to go over episodes 4, 5, 6. I thought episode 4 was bad, and it was. It was the big castle, and they're all having horrible expositional dialogue between each other and the characters, and it was bad. It was horrible, right? I didn't think they'd get worse than that. And then episode 5 completely shifts the deal. And it's just a complete total mess. Episode 5, where they go into the woods, these woods that no one's ever like come back out of, and there's just these people there that are just there, the woodland people, thieves, and they're just all getting drunk on truth potion, truth juice. Truth juice. Oh my! What a terribly horrible, tonally horrible. It just switched it completely. I believe the show's like trying to like, because the Willow movie was I wouldn't say a total mess, but it was goofy in some respects, but it also had like a serious input in between it, like with its characters and what was happening between it. People died, and maybe it was goofy in very goofy in a lot of aspects, but it wasn't as messed up as like this show and what this show is like trying to portray. Because I can't even figure it out. I can't figure out the message. I can't figure out the tonal shifts between like characters and comedy and the seriousness between them. It's messed up. It doesn't make sense. It's hard to follow. Oh my, it's fucked up. I don't like it. like, that's another horrible aspect. Another thing I should mention before getting into this episode. I'm sorry, I'm like going. Like, I really want to talk about my generalities before I get into episode. Everything that I should be talking about, because I wanted to review this series, but a lot of other things were taking up my time, unfortunately. But I'm gonna review it from now. So episode 8 I'll also review, and maybe 9 and 10 if those come out. I think episode 8 might be the last one. I'm not exactly sure. Whatever. So I talked about the tone, music-wise. So sound production, absolutely abysmal. I don't know what the fuck these showrunners were thinking. If you've seen these episodes, like at the end of like each episode, they'll play a song, like a really well popular song that people love, usually a rock song, and then they'll remix it. Remix it with a horrible girl voice actor that's like voicing, singing the song. It's disgustingly bad. Just play the original song. Like, you didn't get the rights to the original, so you had to get someone to remix it. I guess that's it, because you didn't have the money to play these like AC/DC, bunch of other songs too. AC/DC was one of them. I believe Metallica. They remixed a Metallica song with a girl. It's fucking nuts what the fuck they're doing. Even in in the episodes too, not just the end. They have other horrible like pop songs that are just completely out of place, that don't fit the universe and the fantasy they're in. Stop it. Why are you doing this? YMS would be angry. I would like to hear like what YMS would think about these songs being implemented. I think he has a better ear for music than I do. So I would like to hear his opinion on it, if he even cares about the show. I doubt he does. Just a little thing. So yeah, music and sound design, horrible. It's like, I don't even know, the Willow movie had its own standalone music and themes within that movie. Why didn't they use that? I don't recognize any of the music in this show, and I just saw the movie. Why? Why didn't you use the music from the movie? It had I don't remember exactly the music producers in that movie. I have to go back and check, but I know for a fact they didn't use it. They just keep using weird remixed rock songs or newer like modern pop songs for their music, for special scenes, and it's incredible. It's just annoying. It's aggravating. Why? Just use the music from the Willow movie. Just do that. They already set it up for you. Why are you changing it? Why? Stop it. All right. Oh my god. Got another tangent. Episode 4 is bad. Okay, so episode 5 was even worse, and then I didn't think it'd get worse than episode 5, but episode 6 is probably the apex of just the horribleness of the show. Horrible, weird costumes, coupled with the subverting of the expectations of our villains, of the Oryx, or whatever they're called. And if you go back to episode 6, maybe I should just show it right now. If you go back to here, episode 6, I could show you what they look like and just how disgusting they look. Look at these costumes of these. They're not good. Look at the costume. Disgustingly bad. The whole plot of episode 6 here, you can see Alora Danim's hair is finally starting to change from blonde to red. It was blonde before she dyed it, I guess, but whatever. Anyway, the costumes of these like orcs are horrible and not good. Think of like this is like 20, we're in 2020 right now, right? Like what's the budget of this show? I don't know. If you just compare this to something of like Peter Jackson's uh, Lord of the Rings, the costumes and the special effects of the orcs and the characters and the elves and even the CGI magnificence, right? They made their own weapons. There's not a sense of realism. And it doesn't need to be like a sense of realism technically because it's all fantasy, right? But it's just everything looks way better if you compare it to Lord of the Rings. Just go watch Lord of the Rings. You don't need to watch this. You way more enjoyment. Obviously the costumes are horrible. They also have these horrible, terrible accents to just subvert your expectations. Completely disgusting. They all sound sophisticated. Essentially was what I would call it. Um, no, I don't think I can technically show it if I want to get a strike. Unfortunately, if you want to like hear that, I would just say go watch the episode, listen for it to yourself. It just sounds out of place, like it shouldn't be there. The way they sound, the way most people sound in this show, shouldn't be there. It's like even the world building. Tons of people, even though they come from the same area and were born in the same area, they all have different accents and different ways of speaking. It's the people, the writers, they didn't try. They didn't try to like create a coherent state of a fantasy world of world building where people like together and they sound similar to each other. It's all over the place. It's a huge fucking mess. I hate the way the orcs is subverting my expectations. They should just sound like disgusting creatures of some kind. You know, not like weird British people with weird sophistications. Anyway, I think episode 6 is probably the worst so far. Episode 7 is just a little bit better, even though episode 7 has terrible problems in its own right. Oh, I didn't even talk about the action scenes. Numerous amounts of horrible action scenes throughout every episode. Horrible, incredibly hard to follow. Weird editing between the action scenes. Kit and I would say Carly. Again, that's not her name in the show. I'm calling her Carly because she's from the actor from the Winter Soldier. She's horrible. I don't know how she got these acting roles. She must have some real pull. She must have some blackmail. Maybe she rubbed some dicks. Probably. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't put it past her. Why not? It is Hollywood. Maybe that's mean. I don't know. But like, why wouldn't she? Let me get a sip of water here, folks. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm speaking off the cuff. This is an off the cuff video. I will do a whole breakdown of the show eventually after it's done. It's too late now to do over every episode. Again, another tangent. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, action scenes. Horribly edited. There's some in this episode too. Not really. This episode is more of a get to the point kind of episode. Go from like point A to B. And they do that. And with some sprinkling of Eric. Just hanging around this city. And we'll get there now. So, this entire time, since Eric got captured, he's been hanging around this abandoned city with no food, no water, no one around. And apparently, he walked. And there's a scene where he says he walked an entire day. No, 3 days. Maybe it was a week. Maybe it was 3 weeks. We don't know. This is another problem with the show. It's not. There's no indication whether how much time has passed between each episode, like how long has this journey taken. It's not really expanded upon. I guess this is supposed to be the explanation. Maybe it's been around 3 weeks. Eric's been here for 3 weeks in this broken down ruined city. But it's also like, is this city translated in time the same way as like the world where our other characters are. It's not really explained. So another problem with world building. It's completely horrible. Anyway, Eric is trapped here essentially in this place. He has nowhere to go. He has no food. He hasn't eaten for as long as he has. He's still alive somehow. He's been drinking this like weird swamp water. If you see it, apparently it tastes really good, but it just looks like shit. He's been drinking that, but he has no food. Eventually, he sees this girl. She's incredibly sus. We have no idea. We have no idea what her actual deal is. She says she's from a different kingdom, but that may or may not be true. Like she could be lying, depending on what we know. But the end of the episode, essentially, she corrupts him and turns him evil. We'll see that. He finally gives in to this like place that's like been turning him evil from like his grandmother. There's like a weird mystery that hasn't been explained well. It's been totally vague. We don't really know anything essentially. It's good. Like we're like getting close to the end of the series, and things are being vaguely explained with no real dialogue to help us explain anything, and not to mention everything. All these characters don't sound like they belong in this. It's just a coupling with horrible plot and horrible dialogue. Characters I don't care about and that are insufferable, extremely bad, horrible. All right, we're gonna skip past this. From the last episode, Kit gets like trapped in this weird. If I could go back, let me just go back for a second to give you context. If you just in case you haven't seen it, she has like, oh my god, horrible spot like talking about feelings so directly that our characters are doing. Anyway, she gets weirdly trapped inside like the magma channel of the orcs like palace or area, and she gets flown in there and it closes back up, and she's underwater basically. It doesn't matter though because Alora uh, saves her with her magic. Alora in the show can just use magic now, very easily after like episode 4, I believe, where she stopped being able to like do it like herself. This is another problem in the show. I like also this is another problem. They escaped this place. They escaped this like weird underground dungeon area with weird stalagmites hanging from the. I think it's stalagmites, right? Stalagmites are the ones from the above, right? Stalactites come from the bottom, I believe. Someone correct me on that if they know. Anyway, they just sort of pop out in this weird area. They just come out. Here they are. There's no indication that any of the trolls have followed them. They're just out. They're all out and about. It seems in a completely different area. Basically, they're trying to get to the end of the world or the Shattered Point. And it's the Shattered Point is like myths of old. If you would think about like the Vikings, how or even not even the Vikings, a lot of like older civilizations would think about that. There was a point, a drop off the edge of the world. They couldn't go that far, and if they went this far, they would all die and hit the edge of the world. That's what they're going to right now. That's the destination. That's where they think Eric is, Kit's brother, and they're gonna go find him. And that's basically the entire plot. We'll get there. Here's Warwick Davis. Oh man, I feel so bad for him. Fucking Warwick Davis. And all the sets are bad, by the way, in the show. Completely horrible. So they just pop out. They just pop out of this place out of nowhere. It's not explained where they actually are within the world. But now they're getting to the Shattered Point again. I forget the name. It's not explained well. And they just find this abandoned building, abandoned, quote unquote. They just find it. Oh, here's a place where we can rest and resupply. How beautiful. Subvert more expectations. There's an old man here. He's not dead. They find they think he's dead because they do that weird like old trope. Old man sitting on the couch. Looks dead. They poke him. Oh, I'm alive! Oh, turns out he's been here the whole time. He has food. He has water. He has supplies. Essentially, they steal everything he has. Even his weird like fish compatriots. This is a weird scene too. They have just a nice talk with him. I actually liked the old man in his scenes. Seems like a lonely old man who hasn't had like time to talk with, and he feeds them. He cares for them because he hasn't talked with anyone. He's just at like the edge of the world for some reason, doing weird, at his like house here. A lot of people don't come by, so it's quite strange. What's actually the point of him? He seems like literally created for our heroes to take a rest, like at the edge of the world. Like how convenient. Anyway, we get to some weird scenes, and the show has horrible editing and dialogue throughout everything. I'm not gonna talk about every dialogue scene. I can't be bothered. You don't want me to quote their dialogue. You don't want me to, because it's just so bad. I don't want to listen to it through myself anyway. It's fucking disastrous. I hate all of it. I hate all of our characters. They're garbage. Fucking garbage. I have to reiterate that. All of them are garbage. Insufferable. They don't belong here in this universe. None of them. None of them are friends. I don't believe any of them are connected in any way. Even our two lesbians. And I love lesbians, alright? You guys know I love lesbians. We're going to skip through this a bit. Essentially, they just take a little rest here with our man here. Kit is having trouble trying to figure out what's happening here. He doesn't want to. Yeah. So this is like there was this like weird backdrop. I think in episode 5 where we first found Kit, and this is like a place where he doesn't want to go because he's hearing voices. But she's like, "Oh no, we should definitely go in there." So obviously she's sus. Obviously she's a bad guy. I forget. What's the land she's from? I forget the land she's from. There's some sort of world building at least from there. We get a new location that has its own like governance of rule, and she has her own horrible shit too. She's like telling Eric that she doesn't want to be a damsel in distress, but none of what she says really matters because she's evil anyway. And you just horrible teen drama, essentially. Don't worry about it. We can skip Eric's stuff because it's about a minute of things. They're just really arguing, and like there's no real connection between their characters at all. She's extremely sus. Eric doesn't see it because he's a fuck boy, and he wants to be reunited with Alora Danham, but really he wants to fuck her too. And Alora Danham's been having like her own conniptions about Eric, and now that she's been traveling with Flash Thompson, she wants to fuck both of them. And weird triangles, that resolutions that probably won't get fixed. Who knows what's gonna happen? I don't care about any of the relationships between the show, between our characters, because they're just not done well. Horrible teen drama. I don't give a fuck. It's very bad. Essentially, these people wake up, and we get like a weird scene here where old man apparently spawns another old man. Oh, look, there's another old man right there. But what happened to the old man talking over here? Oh, there's two of them. Who's this then? Who's this other? Why are there two old men? What's happening, folks? Get ready for this. This is probably going to be bad for me. Whoa, Flash Thompson! You're not allowed to do that. Whoa! You can't hit an old man. Out of nowhere! Creepy monster with a with a with a shovel out of nowhere. What is this edit? So are you telling me one of these old men, you just came from nowhere? You just appeared out of. How did you get in this building? How did you follow our characters? These are the characters that basically kidnapped Eric. They've been following Willow and gang. But now we haven't seen them in a while. They just appeared out of nowhere. Watch this scene. Watch this editing scene. It's insane. They go into the carriage. That carriage is housing like this weird mud monster that can like. It's like if I could compare it to something, the mud monster is almost. If you've seen One Piece, you guys probably haven't. If you've seen One Piece, there's this character, Senor Pink. He has this devil fruit. All right, listen to me. The devil fruit allows him to swim through ground. Okay, any ground, any surface. It doesn't have to be water. He can just swim through it. Essentially, any hard surface. That's essentially what this like creature is doing. It like look at this edit. They just break through and escape. And they're just going. They're just fucking going. And it's crazy. Out of nowhere, two other monsters appear out of the house. A random guy on a horse and a bird following them. Where were they? They weren't in the house. Where did they come from? The editing in the show is abysmal, disastrous. And we get a whole chase scene. Kit gets hurt with a shuriken, which is like, all right, so people, there are Japanese people apparently in this show, or just shurikens exist without the Japanese people actually existing. Actually, really funny. I really like how Kit just gets stabbed here. Look at that. Bam! Right in the arm. And goes, whoa! Absolutely great. That injury has no repercussions at all. You know, you think getting stabbed in the arm would do something to your body, but apparently not. Now we get a little surprise here. As far as we know, we have two magic users, Willow and Lord Danum, obviously. But apparently we have actually three magic users, because of Flash Thompson, to get the scene here. Flash Thompson here has the ability to shoot magic out of nowhere. This is the first time he does it in all of 7 episodes with no training, no instruction. He can just do this with no incantation at all. Normally, Willow and Lord Danum are spouting like weird nonsense gibberish words to use their magic powers. Flash Thompson just does that. He does this weird purple lightning bolt magic out of nowhere. It just comes out of nowhere. If anything, he's a Gary Stu now, because this is unbefounded by everyone watching the show. Like, why is this happening? He destroys the bird, blows it up. Everyone's surprised. Everyone's like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Crazy." That's incredibly weird. Oh yeah, her hair's like super red now by this episode. I don't know why they dyed her hair in the first place. Just have it be red. Why? How did the dye get out of her hair? I guess. Well, how did she dye it in the first place? You're in like a medieval fantasy world. You're not able to do that, right? Are people able to dye their hair back in like the 1200s of the Earth? I don't think so. Not as well as everyone looks in this show anyway. So that was a huge surprise. Flash Thompson here being able to just use magic out of nowhere. They escape this weird, disgusting lich. He looks like a Cenobite. Yes, he does kind of look like a Cenobite, just like how creepy he looks. But just his face actually, not anything else. He looks quite strange. So most after that, most of this episode, we get just a montage of everyone training, and this is a horrible point for the show, actually. So Willow and Alora are gonna start training. They start training with magic. Now, it was said in episode 3, what we don't see here is Willow's friend. Willow's like midget friend. his peck friend. That was from the movie. He died specifically because in that episode, it was very clear that Willow didn't want to use magic because it was draining his life force. But in this episode, and every episode after that, Willow is just using magic willy-nilly. It doesn't matter about his life force. And he's just doing it and training. Laura Danum just using everything he can. So he essentially let his friend die. He let Warwick Davis. You let your midget friend die because you were too proud to use your magic 4 episodes before. It's like they couldn't keep their own continuity straight, and now they just needed a reason to train a Lord Danum because she hasn't been trained really at all by Willow. In the series so far, he's taught him some things, but he hasn't used his magic personally. Cause oh my god, some weird bullshit character development. Like Willow thinks he's not a great sorcerer or whatever. Get into it. It's horribly done. I don't want to get into it. It's just more terrible characterization. But anyway, this is just a weird plot point because now we get a horrible training montage of our character. Perfect stopping point. Awful, horrible. our so our sorcerers are now using magic. So Warwick Davis could have saved a friend. He didn't. He didn't. A horrible choice for these characters to do. We get a weird like montage. We get a training montage. Everybody's training. Kit and Carly are also training. They're training the swords. Horrible sword action. We get to see like magic, and magic was definitely more vague in the movie than it is now. At least I I'll give the show this. It seems like magic has a better system than the movie, but we still don't know exactly what that system is. Apparently, there's a book that like will teach you magic words that help you perform magic spells. We don't know. We haven't really seen. We've seen the book. We haven't like seen all the spells and like what else it entails. But at least I like our characters are like sort of doing something. At least Willow has the ability to like do more sorcery, not like in the movie. So he's been training like these years since Atlanta Dorham, whatever her name is, has been growing up. Anyway, there's this horrible training montage. We're going to a montage. Montage. We gotta see a montage. And we're doing that whole, Rocky Balboa thing. This is the book I'm talking about. She's reading like the magic spell book here. We don't really know exactly if anyone can read this. Can they technically do magic? It seems you have to have the magic within yourself to be able to like make the words into power. It's slightly better than the movie, but still vague. It's not done generally well, you know? That's what it is though. So yeah, montage. There's horrible modern music playing. I would play the music, but I'm afraid of a copyright strike, so I won't. It's discertingly horrible. I don't care. So like Flash Thompson and Lord Danham, their relationship has been growing between here. He confesses his love to her. She's like, oh no, don't do that. Don't confess your love. There's also another scene where Kit confesses her love to Carly, and they're like, oh, I'm a huge lesbian. Oh, you're a lesbian too. Let's make out. Oh, we're gonna kiss. Oh, I'm cooming. Aren't you guys cooming yet? Don't you see lesbians making out is gonna make you coom? These girls are over 20. It's fine. They're playing teenagers, but they're over 20. I had to make sure, obviously. Uh, I would never coom to these ladies, ever. Never in my life have I ever coomed. We'll skip that because it's obviously cringe. I hated every minute of it. See, don't you know that these guys are lesbians? Didn't you know from like the first scene in the first episode that they were doing it together? Didn't you know? Listen, we love chicks, all right? I like girls as well. I like girls just as not as much as guys, right? Does that make me gay? No. Oh my god. I'll stop being dumb. We get into that. Again, through this entire time, they're just moving through this like weird mud desert. The shattered end, it really is just like a mud desert with horrible like CGI backgrounds and other terrible dialogue all throughout the episodes. Again, I can't restate it enough. Horrible dialogue between like every character. Everything sort of makes sense, but like just the way the words like people like speak with, they don't sound like they're in a fantasy setting. I'll just reinstate that. Let that get through your minds. Watch the show. You'll see what I'm talking about. Everyone seems out of place. They don't seem like they belong in this fantasy setting. I'm going to try and speed it up here because my throat is killing me. I do have a cold. Or at least a sore throat. Basically, they get through whatever they need to get through. Eric is at his breaking point at this point in time. She reveals herself. I forget her name. She is a princess, quote unquote. We're not really sure who she is. She might be a monster in disguise. She reveals herself as like, yes, I've been here way longer than you, Eric. I've spent. She's essentially given her soul to the devil, as far as I can tell. It's not essentially clear what exactly she's done, like in this place, because again, this place isn't clear at all. It's just a ruined city with like evil emanating from it. It's we don't know like what that we don't know the form of what that evil has taken specifically, but she might be like some. I'm guessing she's some literally some sort of evil personified person in disguise of this other girl. Maybe she's like possessed her because there is possession in the show. So I'm guessing maybe that's it. Because at the end of this episode, we see Eric and he's basically evil. So maybe he's being possessed too. We'll get to him. Anyway, she reveals herself like, yeah, I've been here. You should follow me. I'm evil. We get to his breaking point. He's like, I want to leave. He leaves. Um, and they make out. It's gay. It's cringe. I don't care. No one cares. Teen drama bullshit. They all Willow's having visions. He's been having visions throughout the entire show. They're all. This is the low point of the episode. Willow and his gang are at their wits' end. They're running out of food, running out of water. They don't know where they're going. Sorry about that. This is the weird like mud monster that's been taking them everywhere. Flash Thompson's friends with it, and he gives it food, and he kisses it on his cheek because it's so cuddly and cool. I actually like the look of the mud monster. I'm not gonna bash it. This is practical effects. I like this. I'll give the show credit for this one thing. I like the look of this mud monster thingy. It's cool looking. All right. I'll take what I can get. All right, I'll take what I can get. This is okay. It's cute. it's just it's like a weird manatee monster. What's that monster? The lagoon monster. I forgot the. It's so old. That classic movie monster. The what the mermaid from the not a mermaid, right? But like whatever it's called. I think you guys get what I mean. The thing from the lagoon. I just don't remember it. I'm sorry. It looks like something like that, like a weird fish monster. And they'll have a lot. He essentially, but anyway, it doesn't matter because Flash Thompson sets it free. So they're all technically on their own. They don't have the mud. The mud monster's like depressed as he moves forward through the emptiness of like the mud. Whatever that means, and the mud desert, and so he lets it go because he didn't want the monster to die. Flash Thompson, he's very empathetic most of the time, even though he's seen as like sort of a joke throughout most of the episodes in the series, until this episode where he finally is like able to use magic and he trains with like Willow and Lord Danum, which is okay. I guess, but even though it's still out of nowhere, they're at the low point of the series. They're at their wits' end. They have no food. This is a weird scene, by the way, too. This is nighttime in the weird swamp movie desert, and this is like the first scene at night where we see just like stars everywhere, and it's like reflecting off of like the mud water, and I guess it looks like really cool, but in like if it was any other series, I would say that. But since it is this series, like I don't think you deserve like this scenery here. Like this is just like a green screen and backdrops, and you two together. It's not like I'm not sure this is actually impressive, right? And it's not like the music here is original during the scene. Again, I don't want to like listen to the song here. I don't want to get another copyright strike. But it's not. I don't think they actually deserve this scene, which is funny in my view. That's all right. Again, we're gonna get to the low point where they meet the edge of the world. They're here. Let's see it. Let's see the scene where the edge of the world doesn't look horrible. It looks okay. Let me see if I can get it here. I'm sorry, folks. They just sort of stumble upon it after walking for who knows how long. It's not like. Again, it's not indicated how long they walk for. It's not indicated how long they've ridden on that swamp monster for. It's not indicated how long their entire journey has been. Don't expect, time to be, of any kind of substance in this show. You won't know. It doesn't matter, I guess. Wait, hold on. Where is the edge of the world? I have to find the scene. We get back here. All right, Eric is at his low point. This is where he basically is like, "I'll do whatever you want, my lady. Make me evil because I'm dying of hunger and thirst. Save me." Ah, here it is. Here it is. They see the edge of the world. They've been walking for who knows how long. Who knows where they are really? It doesn't matter. They end up at the location they're supposed to, and big old waterfall. Here it is. It's the edge of the world. They're all disappointed. They thought they would meet the ruined city where Eric is supposed to be. They thought this is where their destination was. Like, oh no, big waterfall. Everyone, Willow especially, you wouldn't think that like Willow would be like, oh no, I want to get out of here now. Essentially all of them are like, no, yeah, let's just go. Let's turn back. We have no food, we have no water. This journey's been horrible. We have no time now. Can't find Eric, which is really funny. They all spout their own like feelings about what they've been doing this entire time and how afraid they are about what's happening in the world. It's crazy how horrible the scene is. But then it doesn't matter because then a few seconds later, Kit gives a pet talk to Lord Danum. Oh, also, this is why I don't think Kit is a Mary Sue, because a Mary Sue is basically loved by everyone. Kit it does not like Laura Danum. She actually hates her, not because maybe there's a lot of like pride reasons why she hates her. That's why I wouldn't consider Laura Danum a Mary Sue. Even like she's powerful in magic, but it takes her a while to like really like figure out how to use it as well. And Willow's like better at it than her, especially when they're trading. So that I wouldn't consider her Mary Sue, which is for her. If anything, Kit and Carly here from Winter Soldier are the actual Mary Sues, because whenever they like fight someone within these episodes, they just beat them easily. Then they beat like monsters hand to hand with their hand to hand and with swords. It's fucking ridiculous how bad the fighting scenes are. There's no actual fighting scenes in this episode. There's no real plot progression in this episode either until the end, where Kit basically takes Laura Danum in her arms and they fall off the this giant mountain edge waterfall. If it loads, you guys will get it anyway somehow to get back. And they finally, and it seems that it's only Kit and Alora that falls in this episode. We don't know what happens to Willow and everyone else. Seemingly, they don't follow after them. Um, they just sort of free fall into the waterfall here. Warwick Davis, I'm so sorry you're in this series. Yeah, they just sort of free fall into let me see it, Warwick. Stop it. I don't want to see your leprechaun face. Is that racist? Maybe, but he did that movie himself, so it's probably fine. Being extra mean. Just be as mean as possible for this show. I don't care. Yeah, so they fall. It's an astronomical height where they fall. They're okay though, both of them. It's just them. Willow and Gang don't follow. Now that it's buffering now, I'm not happy about this. We're gonna get to the funny scene, the last scene of this episode. They follow the path up to where the ruined city is. Now, I will say this part of the ruined city, it looks pretty good. I won't lie. I like the aesthetic of the ruined city. I'm not sure what like what's the point of it. We're not particularly we don't know exactly what happened to the city or how it became like this aesthetically. How did who are the people that built this city? How did it get like this? We don't necessarily know, but I enjoy the look. It's okay for what it is. I like the aesthetic. It's not bad. Um, how they got here though, incredibly stupid. They fell into the center of the earth. Essentially, doesn't not really explained, and they just found this city. Is that how everyone gets here? Who knows? Maybe there are other passageways to get there. Maybe the monsters that took Eric of other ways. So they just enter it nonchalantly. They're just walking through. Here we are. This is where Eric was. This is where he's drinking the swamp water. Now they're here. Laura Danum has completely red hair now. They're our journey. They're essentially friends at this point in time. Friends, quote unquote. really still searching for Eric. And this is the funniest point of this show, probably, even in this episode. Look. Oh, it's Eric. Oh, he's back. Oh, it's Eric. Look at me. Oh, look. What happened to me? I'm evil. I'm evil. Look at me. I changed my hair. I cut my hair. I'm evil now. Look. This is like, I don't know what this trope is. He gave himself to the evil princess, and now he's got new clothes, he's got a weapon, he's given himself over to the evil. Look how suave he looks. Look how dapper he is. Look at his his dapper new leather coat costume that looks horrible. His new haircut. Look how he's evil. Evil. Listen, if you cut your hair, it means you're evil. Look at how he gives that grin. Oh, look how cute that is. Look at me cute. Oh. James Child, fuck you. Jamie Childs. Ugh, kill yourself. I don't care. Unalive yourself. In Minecraft. Please. Don't watch this show. This is the end of the episode. Basically, who knows what's gonna happen now? I assume they're gonna try and save Eric here in some way, shape, or form. Stop him from being evil. Because he's obviously evil now because he got a new haircut. And there's like weird music playing through this scene as well. Again, like more like remixed songs that are beloved and that they destroy. And that's the episode. Yeah. This show is hot garbage. I believe it's worse than The Witcher Blood Origin. It's gone on for a lot longer, so it has a lot more to criticize about it. I know I'm sorry I didn't go over like every episode. I'm going to do a general review of the show once it's done. There's at least one more episode. I'm going to be reviewing that. And I'm sorry about all the tangents. Sorry about all the rambling. I just really wanted to like get my mind, help you get my mind across that this show is not good. I'm disappointed by everything in this show. Fighting, choreography, bad. Characters are probably the most like affronting part of this show. They're just absolutely horrible and insufferable. I don't like any of the characters. I don't even like Willow. And Warwick, he's the main character. It's about him and Alora Danum. I don't like them. Willow's probably even the best of them. Yeah, and I still don't like him. I don't like the plot. I don't care for it. It's very slow. It's episode 7, and two of our characters finally interacted with Eric, finally after where he was. There's been a lot of messy things. Sound production, editing. Think of all the other technical aspects you can think of for like creating a show like this. It's all bad. None of it's good. CGI is bad too. There's really bad CGI. There's some good CGI. I would say that like when they're using magic, Willow and Alora, that looks okay. I like the way it looks. But it's not enough to like make the show good. It's still like a 3 out of 10 or a 2 out of 10. Maybe not CW levels bad of dialogue, but like up there with that shit. And it's not. I'm not interested in the show. I'm interested in making fun of it. I'm not interested in I'm interested in watching it. I'm disappointed, Not that I'm even a huge fan of Willow. That's really what I really want to say of the movie. So it's just weird that these people would make this show. It seems like that movie didn't have a lot of fans to begin with because it wasn't that good. Crazy. Alright, guys. I'm done rambling, done ranting. I will review in the next episode whenever this comes out. This is going to come out soon. I don't know how soon, but it will be my next video, I think. My next like non-game video. So this will be out really soon. And then I have other videos planned as well. And we're gonna get this done. And we're gonna do those, and that'll be cool. All right. So I'm done. I'm done rambling finally. You guys have a good day. See ya.